Okay, let's start our first set of word problems, and these use the formulas we've just talked about. The perimeter of a standard-sized rectangle is 28 feet. The length is 2 feet longer than the width. Find the dimensions. That means find the length and the width. So I draw a rectangle, I label the length and the width, and I write the basic formula for perimeter, which is 2L plus 2W. Now we're told that the length is of course longer than the width, and in fact the length is 2 feet longer than the width. With this knowledge, we can solve this problem with substitution. P equals 2L plus 2W but remember that L is W plus 2, and the perimeter is 28 feet. So we'll say 28 equals 2 times, parentheses, W plus 2, that's what the L length equals, and then add another 2W. So we've stuck with the formula. Now I'm going to distribute because I have a number on the outside of the parentheses. 28 will equal 2W plus 2 times 2, which is 4. Plus the 2W at the end, which was not in the parentheses. So we'll have 28 equals 4W, because I'm going to add the 2W and the 2W together and bring down the plus 4. Then I'll move the constant terms together by subtracting 4 from both sides. That will give me 24 on the left and 4W plus 0 on the right. So now we've got 24 equals 4W. One constant term equals one variable term. This is where I divide by the coefficient of the variable. Divide by 4 and divide by 4. And so I discover that W, or 1W, equals 6. So W equals 6, or 6 equals W. I now know that the width is 6 feet. The length is 2 feet longer than the width, so the length is going to be 6 plus 2. Which is 8. And I write my answers up there in the answer boxes. We now have another rectangle problem, only this time we're being asked to find the perimeter and the area of the rectangle at the right. We know the formula for perimeter of a rectangle is P equals 2L plus 2W. The formula for the area of a rectangle is length times width. Well, the length is 31 and the width is 21, so we have all the information we need. P equals 2 times 31 plus 2 times 21. So perimeter P is going to equal 2 times 31, which is 62, plus 2 times 21, which is 42. So the perimeter will be what we get when we add these two together, which is 104 inches. Now we find the area. The area equals the length times the width. So I'll be multiplying 31 times 21. I multiply that in my calculator, and what do I get? (651 squared inches. Squared inches is how I measure area, squared dimensions. Now we're going to work on the area of a triangular sign. Before, we talked about the perimeter of a triangle. Well, this is a triangular sign whose area is 63 squared feet. We're told that the base is 14 feet and we need to find the height. Here's how you do it. 1/2 is 0.5 times the base times the height. 63 is going to equal 0.5 times 14 times the height, which we do not know. So 63 equals 0.5 times 14, which is 7. Remember, 0.5 is half. And then times h. To find out what h equals, I divide both sides by the coefficient of h. (63) divided by 7 is 9. (9 equals 1h, which is 9 equals h. So the height is 9 feet. Notice that the height is measured in feet, the base is measured in feet, but the area is measured in square feet. Area is always measured in square dimensions. Problem. Ooh, a little bit harder. Find the area of the Stanton Drew Prehistoric Ceremonial Site that has a diameter of 416 feet. Area, and they've drawn a circle. We must have to find the area of a circle. Oh gosh, you're going to need to look up the formula for the area of a circle, and it's all over the internet and it's in your book, so you don't have to worry. I wrote it out for you. A equals pi r squared. Let me write it bigger. Whoops. A equals pi r squared. Now, the first instruction we're given is that we're going to use the number 3.14 for pi. Pi does not equal 3.14, but it's really close to 3.14. So we're going to settle for that approximation. So our formula now is going to be A equals 3.14 times r squared. So now we have to figure out what r is. R is the radius. And you can look up on the internet or look in your book to remember what the radius is. But I'm going to tell you here, the radius is the distance from the center to the edge of the circle, okay? Notice that there's a radius here and a radius here. So, if you have two radii, that's the plural, if you have two radii together, that makes up the diameter, which is what the problem says you were given. The diameter is 416 feet. The diameter is made up of 2 radii, one radius and one radius. All right, so 2r equals 416. To find out what r is, you divide by 2 on both sides, and you'll get r equals 208 feet. Half the diameter is what the radius is, 208 feet. Now we are ready to rock and roll. All right, we're ready to use the formula A equals pi r square. And now we know that A equals 3, for the sake of this problem, 3.14 times 208 squared. My dog is barking to go out, but I want to finish this first. So I'm going to click on, I'm going to click clear, I'm going to say 3.14 times 208, and here's your squared button. If you push squared, you'll get 208 squared. Now hit enter. And there's your answer. Now notice that the people who wrote the problem actually want, this is from my math lab, round to the nearest hundredth, and this is rounded to the nearest hundredth. So our answer to the area is going to be 135,848.96 feet square, or square feet. And I had better go let my dog out. Talk to you later.